Hey Gemini, welcome back to my channel. I hope that all is well with you. Happy New Year. I wish you all a blessed and prosperous 2021. So this is going to be a weekly intuitive reading for Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Let's see what the cards want to reveal. This may not resonate for all. Please check your other signs as well for important messages, okay? So before we get into your reading, I would like to take this moment to apologize for not being able to upload sooner. I was going through some personal and health problems that in my perspective were huge and were very draining. So with all that being said, thank you all for your support, your patience, and all your beautiful comments as well. They truly mean a lot. Now, without further ado, Gemini, let's see what the cards want to reveal for this week. I've already pre-shuffled these cards prior to recording. What's going on for Gemini, please? We ask for insights and guidance, please, Spirit. What's going on for Gemini this week? Alright, so far guys have the Eight of Swords, the Hangman, the Nine of Cups, and Temperance. I see here Sagittarius. There's going to be a need for pause, need for reflection. There's a very important decision that you guys need to make this week. Then we have the Four of Pentacles, the Mother of Swords, the Son of Swords, and the Ten of Wands. Feels like a burden needs to go. You guys need to release and let go a sense of burden that has been holding you guys back, okay? Bottom of the deck is the Nine of Wands. So it's a situation, or it could also be a relationship that you have worked really hard for. But I'm also getting here, it's starting to become a very heavy burden on your shoulder. It could be also like literally responsibilities, obligations, so many things on your plate this week. And with Nine of Wands, it's about knowing when enough is enough. I feel like this is about getting back in a place of balance, Gemini. Knowing what it is that you can take and what it is that is excess or potentially done a little bit extreme, okay? The Temperance card is a strong message of keeping things in moderation. Everything done in moderation brings alignment, brings harmony in your inner world. So this is not something to do about your physical world. I feel like this has something to do about your inner self. This is about getting back in a place of balance. So Eight of Swords, okay. The message of this card is that there's a feeling of being stuck, being imprisoned. Your mind is making you feel as though you're powerless to take action or shift the situation around, but this is just an illusion, Gemini. What you need to know about the Eight of Swords is that the more that you dwell in this kind of mindset, you start to project your fear into reality. The truth is, you're not really stuck, you're not really in prison. You can break free anytime you want to. You just have to have faith in yourself. You need to remind yourself of your power, of your abilities, of what you are fully capable of, and that you are somebody that's ever expanding, growing, and evolving. Now with Four of Pentacles energy here, the pentacle can represent anything in the material form, in the physical 3D. So it could be a feeling of stability, but at the same time, it's making you feel confined. Now, I'm not really sure what this stands for. This could be different from one person to another, so I'm just going to cite examples. It could represent a relationship that, yes, there is stability, but it's starting to become very confining, limiting. For some of you, it could also be a work situation where, yes, it provides you with benefits, but it's also not allowing you time to spend on other important aspects of your life. Now, because the Swords energy can represent a mindset, this could also suggest how you are processing your thoughts. Something here feels very rigid, could be a closed mind. If that's not your energy, somebody around you can be a little bit close-minded. They already have a fixed notion, conception of things, all right? And it's like you and this person are just not seeing eye to eye. That's why we have the Hangman, seeing things in a different angle and perspective from other people. So the Hangman, this is a very powerful card. It speaks of, absorbing options that are being presented to you. I also see the Hangman as the much needed pause, all right? Because in this pause, You get to really absorb everything. You get to really review, contemplate, introspect. It could also be a valuable time to recalibrate something in your life. Like, inevitably, something needs to be released, purged. It can be seen as making a sacrifice, letting go of something, but as a result, there's inevitable metamorphosis, okay? Now, with the Nine of Cups and the Temperance card, oftentimes we need to deny ourselves of what we are craving for, right? That's the kind of sacrifice that I feel some of you are going to do this week. There's denying yourselves of what it is that you desire, what you want, because oftentimes what you want is not what's going to bring you what it is you need. All right, so knowing the difference between both. I feel like the Temperance is saying, when we indulge too much, when something is done a little bit extreme, in excess, whether this is how we treat ourselves, how we indulge in certain unhealthy aspects in lives, okay? Lifestyle, relationship, work situation. Some of you could also be overworking yourselves. Whatever that stands for, anything in excess, this is bound to happen with the Ten of Wands. The Ten of Wands can be seen as a card of burnout, okay? That's what we want to avoid this week, Gemini. Feelings of burnt out, because there might be inevitable buildup of resentment as well if we are neglecting our spiritual needs, because we place too much importance on material needs, if that makes sense. So Temperance often indicates two aspects that we need to balance. This could be your spiritual life and your practical life. For some of you, it could also be your work and life balance. So take this however resonates, right? Take it easy. Take it step by step. All right. Don't do everything at once. I feel like because oftentimes we tend to take too much, that we don't know when enough is enough. So I feel like that's the overall theme of your reading this week, Gemini. Know when enough is enough. Don't be also over sacrificial, because that's the Hangman. We seem to think that as long as we do our part, as long as we go over and beyond, that our efforts are going to be reciprocated, because oftentimes that's not the case. We may find ourselves overly sacrificing, and there's no sense of proper payoff for all those sacrifices. So I feel like honor your higher self. If there's something here that you find yourself over compromising, what are the steps you need to take to bring back things into balance, okay? Now with Mother of Swords, this is your energy. You might be dealing with another air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. So what I'm picking up here, this could be a family situation or somebody very close to you. With the Swords energy, there's conflict, there's tension that's building up with you and this person. So I feel like what the guidance here for you this week, Gemini, is to not engage. This aggressive energy coming towards you, let this unfold, observe, be in the position of power by, not engaging. Don't give your power away, all right? Because if you choose to engage, it diminishes you of the ability to see clearly. When we are too caught up in the thick of a situation here, we tend to lose sight of our real goals, all right? We tend to lose sight of the bigger picture. We tend to also lose sight of ourselves, what's important to us really. So I feel like this is all about choosing battles as well, whether this is in your external world or your inner world. Now with Son of Swords, this week, you have to be brave enough to assert yourself. And that's why I feel like this may be different from one person to another. If you are in some sort of situation, relationship where you feel like you're sacrificing too much, then find balance by asserting yourself. Now, if you're also in a type of situation where you are the ones who are excessively indulging into something and somebody here is overly sacrificial for you, then how can you meet this person halfway? All right, so please take this however resonates. But with Son of Swords, you guys need to be brave enough and strong enough to honor yourself. What's going to make you fulfilled with Nine of Cups? Standing strong in your conviction. The Son of Swords typically is a headstrong energy. It can be seen as somebody intimidating. It can be seen as somebody that loves to dominate. But sometimes in order to fight for something we believe in, we need to be in this energy. Okay, that's what I'm seeing here. The Hangman is the energy of state in limbo. On the other hand, the Son of Wands is somebody that rushes into it. Shoot first, ask later. So, or shoot first and think of the consequences later. So you need to find balance between those two polar energies, okay? But at the end of the day, be grounded, honor your heart. You don't need to be too caught up with these two polar energies right now. There's also this contrasting energies of freedom and stability, like a feeling of, yeah, I have stability, but I'm also feeling confined, versus freedom but too much indulgence, and things are starting to become out of control, or things are starting to become very scattered. So how do you find balance between those two polar opposite energy? Okay, now with Mother of Swords, I feel like you guys need to open up a little here in your social life. If you have been extremely isolated, I see the Mother of Swords. There is always a shadow side to all the cards. So the Mother of Swords can appear on the shadow side, cold, pessimistic, snob, all right, or tends to hold on to some kind of grudge. And so, like I said, Ten of Wands, if you keep doing things all on your own, Gemini, you may find yourself overly sacrificing for the sake of others. Then there's inevitable buildup of grudge and this feeling of resentment. So let that go. Shift your mindset around, and you will see that your external world is starting to change as well. I also see that this is about putting a great deal of importance in your emotional reserves, because sometimes when we don't tend to our emotions, we tend to become very cold or just very much logical. All right, the mind overrules the heart, and that does not need to be the case. Both needs to find equal importance. Okay, now let's clarify these cards, Gemini. Let's see, why is the Eight of Swords energy here, please? So we have the Four of Cups, Eight of Swords and Four of Cups. This is not really the most beautiful combination. I'm just gonna put the message out there. This could be some of you going through, you know, something very devastating, heartbreaking. Some of you, it might also be depression, sadness, just overall a feeling of discontentment, lacking motivation. So I feel like with Four of Cups, like I said, if you've been extremely isolated, it's time to break free. It's time to reach out. It's time to reconnect with people that you love, or things that you absolutely love doing that makes you feel alive. Could be that because we're overthinking things too much, a lot of mental activity, we tend to neglect new opportunities, even if it's right under our nose. So with Four of Cups, the message of this card is to not dismiss any offer. It's time to cast your nets wide, all right? Don't be too closed off with Four of Pentacles, or too afraid of giving your heart away, Gemini. Why is the Hangman energy here, please? We have the King of Cups. So you guys could also be letting go of a water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. Okay, so typically the King of Cups is a very diplomatic person, one that is very sociable, very charismatic. But I'm getting that there was internal flux, like this person, they were going through a lot of pressure as well, and this was affecting their emotions. There was some kind of inconsistency. They were very withdrawn, but at one point they were very open and loving. So it could be seen as somebody who didn't really have a lot of conviction. So I see that you have been in a position to put more effort in than this individual. Why is the Nine of Cups energy here, please? We have the King of Pentacles. So King of Pentacles, some of you are dealing with an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Typically, this is somebody that's steady, a provider, reliable person. They could be in the field of finance or real estate. Only citing examples here. But somebody that can also be on the shadow side, they desire wealth too much, that sometimes it leads to, you know, a sense of, you know, selfishness or self-interest. Somebody is overindulging here. Now, if this is both aspect of yourself here, Gemini, I feel like what the cards are saying is to ask yourself what really fulfills you, what really nourishes you, what really fills up your cup. Because the material things, the Four of Pentacles can be seen as a card of hoarding, right? We tend to fill up the void by filling our lives with all these material things, but it may be a feeling of empty kind of success. So could it be that you're sacrificing your social life or your spiritual life too much because of, you know, making sure that you effectively manage your finances, your wealth, your property, having full control all the time? I feel like your inner child has been wanting to break free. Your inner child has been wanting freedom to explore other passion and interests. Okay? It might also be this contentment that some of you feel is because the blessing that's in front of you that you might be overlooking may not come in the form that you would want it to be. Say, for example, there's an opportunity being presented, but it may not be in material form. Rather, it's a spiritual form. So there could be tendency to reject that offer just because it did come in a form that you would expect it to be. But perhaps we're not given what we think we want because the universe is giving us what we need. So the Temperance is saying go with the flow. Be open. Don't be afraid to try something new, to introduce yourselves to new opportunities or let new inspiration come in. Why is the Temperance here, please? We have the Eight of Swords. So yeah, I feel like this is also saying to take it easy. Don't let fear stop you from trying. Fear has a way of limiting our worldview, our view about ourselves and of other people. This could be fear of commitment, fear of trying again, or fear of accepting something new. If you continue to dwell in this mindset, the Eight of Swords can be seen as a card of helplessness or victimhood. When we tend to hold on too much on the past, we can't seem to let go and we start to see ourselves as sort of a victim, right? So you have the power to shift the situation around through self-love, reminding you guys that the past is not going to define what your future is. Okay, that yes, you went through perhaps a lot of emotional shifts, missed opportunities or lost opportunities, Gemini, but these are all ultimately willed for your inner growth. And once you surrender all that fear, all that insecurity, all that negative self-talk to the universe and embrace everything, make peace with what happened in the past and reclaim your power back, you will be in a sense of peace and acceptance and balance, most especially. Why is the Four of Pentacles energy here? So we have the Seven of Swords. I feel like that's because somebody deceived you in the past, or you trusted a friend, somebody betrayed you. This has a lot of definition into it. I also see the Seven of Swords as sometimes we deny ourselves of what it is we truly want because we control ourselves too much. We seem to think that controlling is avoiding any possible hurt or pain, but these things are sort of out of control sometimes. What we can choose to do is to be smarter about our decisions next time around. But denying ourselves and putting up walls is also not the way to live life, because that means we might be missing out on what universe has planned out for us if we restrict ourselves or we allow past events to dictate what our future would be. So yeah, we have the Ace of Cups. Look at that. New love wants to come in. Something very inspirational, something very healing. I also see this card as the opening of the heart chakra, being anchored with your heart, with all this chaotic energies going on, with all this unpredictability or past events, past drama that played out. At the end of the day, you need to go within and anchor with what your heart wants at the end of the day. This is also allowing peace to come in. So I feel like it's about making peace with the past, forgiving somebody in the past. It could be hard, but the Temperance is also saying when we go through conflicts or adversity, we tend to resonate on one side, but healing does not work that way, because if we tend to look at one side, we see ourselves as a victim, as opposed to like, what have we learned? How can we do things differently, right? So it's important to, even if it's hard, to remain objective and see both sides of a situation. okay? To give it a non-judgmental assessment and just look at the facts here. All right, that's why I feel like with the Hangman is looking at things in a different angle now. You can no longer view things the same way before. If you want a breakthrough in your consciousness, you have to elevate how you process these things that happen to you. All right, a breakthrough in your consciousness. What's good for the heart is also what's good for the mind. So if we choose to forgive all this overthinking, all these things that are being, repeatedly playing in our mind, it's just going to go away. We heal, we evolve, we overcome. So why is the Son of Swords energy here? We have the Four of Wands. All right, so while new commitment is coming towards you, Gemini, I see new love coming in. If it's not romantic, it can also be friendship, but this brings so much healing. All right, I also see Four of Wands as letting something be, carefully handling something. Some of you need to carefully handle your heart. Yeah, I feel like you may have this very tough exterior with the Mother of Swords, but you have a very gentle heart, so you need to take care of it. Okay, I feel like it's about being mindful of who you trust as well, but not hold on to grudges. It's just that don't deny yourselves of what it is that you deserve. Yeah, Justice card and Temperance. Wow. As soon as you do inner work and find balance within, your external world starts to change. I also see this card as getting your justice. If there's anybody or anything that inflicted pain on you, if there was deceit, manipulation, if you are going through some kind of court issue, this card, the appearance of this card is saying there's going to be justice that will be served. Somebody is also about to face the consequences that they've done. So we see the Seven of Swords, that could be a thief, right? Somebody that took something from you. And then we see the Justice card and Eight of Swords. Could be that somebody finally needs to, start accepting how facing the consequences is going to affect their life. And they need to prepare themselves for this. Look into their past action and behavior and what has been their role that will lead to this current circumstance, or why did things unfold this way. Because oftentimes when we have our blindfold on, we don't really see the bigger picture and we tend to resonate on one side. So whoever it is that you're dealing with, I feel like there's an awakening with that person. I feel like somebody's starting to, awaken and seeing now how their actions and their behavior in the past definitely hurt you. Okay, if this is you that has hurt somebody as well, Gemini, I feel like it's making things right. How can you bring balance back? How can you make things right? How can you find peace, forgiveness? All right, so karmic cycles can no longer be strengthened, and once that those are being dealt with, this walls finally come down. Sometimes holding on to this low vibrational feelings and emotions, we tend to harden ourselves, harden our heart. But a lot of these energies are pointing out to softening up the heart, forgiveness, letting the heart rule over the mind. All right. And so I feel like with Four of Swords, some of you are also healing, still in the process of healing. So I feel like what's ever going to bring you peace of mind, whatever you feel in your heart is what's going to bring you peace and balance internally. That's the decision and path you guys need to make. Okay, so what is your advice for Gemini this week, please? Some of you might be dealing with a Libra as well. This could be winning the custody of your children, and I feel like you're definitely going to get the justice. Now, I don't know to whoever this resonates as well. Could be that somebody is trying to bribe you guys, or they're still trying to manipulate their way out of the situation, but the truth and justice will prevail at the end of the day. All right, I feel like you guys need to start having a more positive mindset, be guided by your heart, not by your mind too much. And Eight of Swords, be careful of how you are processing your thoughts, because the mind is so powerful, it can create the reality. Okay, be careful of projecting your fears into reality. So what is your final advice for Gemini this week, please? We have abundance. I am a limitless being and I can manifest whatever I desire in this physical reality. Okay, let me read to you what the advice is, Gemini. This may not resonate for all, but it's up to you if you want to take this advice, okay? Always remember that you are God and God is all about creation. God says yes, the ego says no. In order to have abundance in all areas of your life, you must create the space of receiving and know that you are deserving of anything your heart desires. The more you can release limited thinking and worry, the more open you are to receiving the infinite flow of the universe. Allow yourself to have fun when manifesting what you want in life and enjoy the process. By embracing a positive mindset, you are opening the door to unexpected abundance. It's a natural to have abundance in your life, and you must realize that any thoughts of limitedness may have come from either a past life or a life condition you have chosen to overcome. They could also originate from programming that you received from the environment you grew up in and the value systems you were taught when you were young. Now's the time to begin to live with the realization that you are worthy of having abundance in every aspect of your life. When you are in the vibration of receiving, you can manifest whatever you desire in this physical reality. So this is your reading, Gemini. Thank you guys so much for watching till the end. I'm sending you love and light, and namaste.